Pleasant good evening, guys. Always a pleasure to be in your company. Yours truly, Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson Associates, where it is our job to ensure that we supply or support rather your health naturally. So we have, of course, a packed program. As usual, it is a question and answer. So feel free, of course, to ask any question that you may have regarding any particular health issue. We have spoken on numerous issues last Sunday, not the Sunday before, because Sunday last we didn't have this program. Unfortunately, we actually had to reschedule. We actually had a lot of rescheduling this week here because of my other commitments. Of course, very soon we're going to be hearing more from our consultants, our hardworking consultants at Batson Associates who continually provide excellent service for you guys. Everybody, Dr. Batson, but at the end of the day, I often tell persons that systems work, people fail. So once you have a system in place that is effective in terms of, because diagnostics is one thing, at Batson Associates, we do your magnetic resonance analysis. We also do your live nutritional blood cell analysis, which includes live blood analysis and dry blood analysis. Now, the thing is, blood, because it is such a telling serum in the body, your blood is the most tested serum, and the reason for that is because blood gives so much information. Blood tells you about your gastrointestinal system. Blood can tell you about your endocrine system. It can give us the opportunity to actually look and see the extent of inflammatory response in the body, because there's a regular test that you normally do called an ESR, which stands for erythrocyte sedimentation ratio. And when you're looking at ESRs tend to really show the level of inflammation in the body. Now, at Batson Associates, when we do our live nutritional blood cell analysis and the dry blood analysis tends to give you the ability to determine just that, the amount of inflammatory response in the body. And inflammation is so telling as it relates to diseases, and that's regardless of the type of disease that you're dealing with. Keep in mind that our program is a live program. It is also an interactive program, so keep that in mind. Those of you who may have questions as regards to what we're discussing, let me say a pleasant good evening to Miss Marva de Freitas. She says, good night, Dr. Batson, saying good night from Arima, and my name is Marva. Marva, it's such a pleasure to meet you. Miss Kamala Samaru, always a pleasure to have you. Good night to you. And she says, good night, Dr. Batson, and all listeners. Miss June Jatan, blessed night. Doc, love in the house. Same to you, my dear. Jazzy Janice Innes, she says, good evening, Doc, checking in from New York City. A pleasure having you. Shireen Jack, a pleasant good night to you and everyone who's on the live, she said. And Marge Hills, a pleasant good evening to you. She says, good night, Dr. Batson, and all online. Good. So, as it relates to this whole situation of inflammation and inflammatory response, there's actually a product that we have called Inflammation Formula. It is actually one of my favorite products. In fact, sometimes I struggle as to deciding or determining which product I like the most, simply because of what all those products have the ability to do. I really like Inflammation Formula because it's a liquid product. I always like liquid products. I like products that are powdered. I like products that are teas. There are capsules that you have another choice to take because of the mechanism of action that you need. Like, for example, we would have like Enzyme Formula, for example, which is an enterically coated capsule. So enterically coated means that has to go through the entire gastrointestinal system, where it has to now be absorbed or assimilated in the small intestines. You don't want the stomach acid to destroy it. So hence the reason why it is coated, so that Enzyme Formula, which is a product we use to like clear block arteries, is a product we use for inflammatory response, is a product for pain. People who have a lot of problems with their lungs as well, that's also something that we could actually use to assist individuals in that particular like there. So, you know, it's very important to deal with inflammation in the body. It is also very important, or it is the possibility exists that you could actually use nutrition in the form of numerous supplements, because a lot of persons confuse herbs with food. So you have to understand that when you're looking at nutrition, and nutrition, especially nutrition from the cellular level, that is where you find that you actually have the ability to make changes or positive changes to persons as it relates to diseases and as it relates to imbalances in the body. Okay, so that's something to pay very, very close attention to. Of course, we're going to be highlighting some of our key products this evening, primarily our Santulan tea. That Santulan is a 7-channel detox that is designed to clean and detoxify kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Great product. Also one of my favorite products as well, because Santulan actually is a tea. It's very easy to use, but it helps in a number of different issues in the body. Good. Keep in mind as well, those locations, we are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. That telephone number, of course, for Chaguanas, it's actually below the screen there, that telephone number. For head office, it's 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314. That is 314-9975. Again, that's 314-9975. We're discussing health from a natural and integrated perspective, and we're discussing inflammation. You know, how do we reduce inflammation in the body? What is inflammation? Why is it that if you are sick, it usually means that the inflammatory response in your body is exceptionally high? So take, for example, someone who has diabetes. Is a diabetic, or does a diabetic patient have high inflammation in their body? Most times, yes. Can that inflammation be reduced? Yes, it can be. Can that inflammation be reduced in a more natural way that is going to bring about positive change long term? Yes, it can. And these are some of the questions that, you know, I often put forward to individuals so that they're actually able now to be able to understand fully you know, what is really causing them to get sick. Ms. Anne Leger says, good evening. I have made 2 visits already to Debe branch, and the second time was my review. I am very pleased. I am feeling so much better. Thank you, Dr. Batson. You're very welcome. That makes my heart feel good. I am so glad. And that response, which is from Ms. Anne Leger, is the regular response that you would get at Batson Associates as specialist consultants in integrative medicine. So it's very important that you make time to make your appointment. Keep in mind, you do not have to see me. I don't know how to tell you all this again, because we're going to reach a point where you're going to be upset, but you have to look at the practicality of it. You know, people say, you know, I want to see Dr. Batson, and I don't want to see any consultants. The consultants were trained by myself. There was a system that is in place. We have, it's almost a fail-safe system that we have. And this is not something that we would have done a year ago. It's not something we would have done 2 years ago. This is something that we have been mastering and putting together for the past 14 years. So you don't think we know what we're doing? So you want to sit down and ball, I want to see Dr. Batson, I want to see Dr. Batson. Okay, fine. If you get to see me, you get to see me. But the likelihood of that happening, especially going forward, is going to become more and more rare. But I'm ensuring that I put things in place to ensure that you get the service and the results that you want and that you need to get. And that doesn't mean you actually having to sit down in front of me. That we live in people do things remotely now. Okay. Miss Michelle Dunn asks, do you have Santulan at Chaguanas branch? Yes, we do, my dear. Miss Betty Phillips says, good evening, Dr. Batson, and good viewers. Good evening to you, Miss Betty Phillips. Miss Melissa First Lady Carol says, do you ship the products? Yes, we do. Miss Carol, what we're doing now, let me just give a quick explanation, as you asked, is that there are easy products to ship. Like Santulan is an easy product to ship. We actually put in certain things in place for that. Inflammation formula, And some of the others, we need to do some work and that kind of thing. And a lot of people might say, but for the longest while I hear all they saying all they doing work. But COVID has changed a lot of things. And because of a lot of things that would have changed with COVID and shipping and that kind of thing, you have to know how to maneuver and do certain things. So we have not forgotten you. We are working assiduously on those things in order to get the availability of the product. In fact, there are companies that I would have worked with for years that actually have similar products, or products that could be used, or products that could be used in conjunction with the ones that we could send, so that you could get the results that you want. If it's one thing you would learn very quickly, if you don't know that about me and Batson Associates, I'm about finding solutions. There is always a solution to a problem. You just have to know how to look, where to look. There is always a solution to a problem, always. And the solution that we're finding is to make your products available to you easier, make your consultations available and your follow-up work easier and more effective. And that is where the consultants and the whole support system that we put in place comes into play. Dr. Batson is one human being, and to count right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Next week, please God, we'll be opening Londonville office. So that's 5. And we're not even counting where certain things have to go and other things we put in place. God, you are not the only person who wants help. There are people all over the place who want help. So what make you different to everybody else? What make you different? Just like how you want help, everybody wants help. So it is my job to ensure that we put things in place that we're able to help as much people as possible effectively and efficiently. So this mentality that people have where they figure they have to sit down in front of Dr. Batson, those days are changing, my dear. Those days are changing, because it is not practical. And you see, Dr. Batson plans after God to live very, very long and take care of a lot of people. So in order for me to do that, I have to take care of myself. All right, guys. Lee Joseph says, good night, doc. My 10 centimeter fibroid is now partly calcified according to my last report. What can I use to break it apart or melt it? Have been using the woman's formula and the uterine plus, the omega-3 alkagen water, diet mostly of veggies, very little meat or fish, good amount of water. Okay, good. What you can do, the enzyme formula is something that you could get at Batson Associates. You could actually check that product out. And what enzyme formula does is one of the products that we actually use in dealing with fibroids, because of its ability to actually break down fibrin in the body. Remember, fibroids are composed of fibrin, protein, calcium. There are a lot of things that actually comprise a fibroid. Fibroids, of course, are given their name based on their location. So you would have someone, for example, a fibroid that is, you have intramural, you have pondulated, you have different types of fibroids, excuse me. And those fibroids have a tendency to get their name based on location. So that is what I would say, Miss Joseph. You could actually look at the enzyme formula. I don't know if, based on what you would have been using from Batson Associates, if that is your first ultrasound, or if you had done an ultrasound before and then came to us, and while being on the program, you did a follow-up ultrasound in order for us to see, you know, what progress you would have made. Okay, you could always clarify that for me. That Londonville office is actually on the, that is heading to Londonville there, where you, by that small roundabout, when you make the roundabout, it's as if you're going to Cashew Gardens. There's actually a pharmacy there called Right Health Pharmacy. Our office is going to be right next to that. There, and that is actually going to be, you know, God's willing, when everything gets up and running. Of course, we're opening. You're going to have your blood analysis, your magnetic resonance analysis, your foot detox available there. But we're also going to be having additional things coming there, because that is actually a stroke and diabetes center primarily. And then we're also going to be doing lungs. We're actually going to do a respiratory center there as well. All those people with bronchitis, asthma, all those type of things, to actually give them assistance in those particular areas. Good. So feel free, of course, to give us a call or visit. The telephone numbers are on the screen there. That number again, 222-8261, as well as 149975. You can call, get your information on your foot detox and the necessary. In terms of the available days, we have open clinic days at our offices. Chaguanas, of course, is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday going forward. Londonville is actually going to be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We have those open clinic days. And of course, we go as we continue to get those things set up and continue to better our best. Keep in mind that Santulan, that 7-channel detox that cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Keep in mind it is an open discussion, so your questions are welcome. Yeah, or y'all actually, the thing is, y'all have the man in front of y'all now. Ask me the questions. There's almost like a free half consultation that you're getting here. So take advantage of it. The question may not necessarily pertain to you per se, but it might pertain to someone else who has, you know, a particular issue. Why? Okay. Miss Lee Joseph says, you have me smiling here, doc. This would be the 3rd or 4th ultrasound after being on the program. Okay, good. And with that ultrasound, you would have seen results. Just clarify that for me. Miss Elizabeth Martin says, good night. Why you raise the Santulan tea? Very good question. Everything is going up, my dear. Santulan was that price for the last 14 years. So ultimately, it has to go up. To get the product here was one issue. That would have been a cost associated with it. The product has also, in terms of where the product is being produced now, all those persons would have raised their price because, I mean, everything is going up. You know, then you have to factor in transport from wherever it comes from, that types of things. So that's why the product had to raise. And believe me, for $150, that product is a steal of a deal up to now. Okay? Remember, that is a product that cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. I guarantee you, there are few cleanses that they have available. I do not know all the cleanses that they have available, but there are few. There are few cleanses that they have that could rival Santulan. Few. That product is really an exceptional product. You know, so that's the reason why it raised, and it is now 150. Okay, guys? Good. Michelle Dunn says, yes, great product, and she put like 79 exclamation mark. I don't know if you would have used it already, Miss Elizabeth, but it is fully worth your 150. Take what I'm telling you. We always recommend that you use your Santulan together with your Alkagen water. And you know something, let me just, as we on this line here, because remember, there is a financial consequence to everything, you know. So let me just shed some light for you guys. You know, when you look at health, I have been a practitioner for the past 14 years, as I said. Oh, she says, yes, it's great. Good. I'm glad to hear that. And let me tell you one of the things I've learned with people. Usually, and I had said this before on a program, usually when people are diagnosed with cancer, they are usually diagnosed at what stage? What stage of cancer you normally hear people say they find out they have cancer? Usually stage 5. In some cases, stage 4. In some cases, rare cases, you might get stage 3. Very rare do you find people with stage 2 and stage 1 cancer. And there are stage 1 and stage 2 cancer. Don't let nobody fool you with that. Mr. Hayden Stewart says 4. Yeah. And the reason why they find out at stage 4 is because a lot of people are not proactive with their health. They're not. People usually go to the doctor when they're sick. And people like doctors like myself and people who do what we do as integrative practitioners, holistic practitioners, usually get people after the doctor done do all sorts of things. Think about it. Most of the time, I get people, I remember getting someone who came to me after they did a colon resection, you know. You know what's a colon resection? They actually had to cut off piece of that person's intestine because their bowels became impacted. The bowels became so impacted that it damaged the colon. So they had to do a colon resection where they actually cut out piece of the intestines. And they had the audacity, and I'm not trying to be facetious or condescending in any way, I'm simply stating facts. You all know me. I just tell you like it is, whether you like it or not. That's quite all right if you don't like it. Such is life. Yeah. And they came with a whole part of your colon, you missing about 2 feet of intestines, and come to ask me what guarantee I could give them on they using my products to help the diabetes. And I answered them with the answer that they deserved. I said, you're asking me nonsense and you're insulting my intelligence, because you cannot do all sorts of things. So what I'm trying to get from you guys and try to help you all to understand, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. If you had to spend $100, $150, $200 on yourself every 2 months, do it and put something inside of this body to help you feel better, look better, and to be able to function. Because too many people falling now and dying for nothing. If they had taken better care of themselves, they would have been here today. I tell you so. Don't let nobody fool you. You think you just get cancer just so? You think it's just so you just get diabetes? You just get up a day and you get diabetes? And let me tell you all something, to stop this crutch and this nonsense where people believing that you get what you get from your family. Stop doing that. People love to do that nonsense. My grandmother had hypertension, so because my grandmother had hypertension, I had hypertension. If you're eating a set of meat, you ain't drinking water, you don't exercise, you don't walk from the biggest set of exercise you get in is from walking in your house. How you expect to be healthy? How you expect not to get sick? You need to be proactive as opposed to being reactive. And that's where Santulan come in. You know how much people Santulan help? You know how much people? There's a cleanse, there's a 7-channel detox. You're cleaning kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. You wouldn't think it necessary to do that to prevent. When you're driving a car, right? How often do you service your vehicle? I love to ask people this question. How often do you service your air condition unit? If you're in machinery and engineering and those type of things, people who are contractors, how often they service backhoes and excavators? How often do you service a crane? Often, right? And the reason why you service it is because you want to do something called what? Preventative maintenance. People do preventative maintenance. You eat rubbish, you do exercise, put on a set of weight, eat more rubbish. Then when you get sick, you go to the doctor, they give you medication, which they're doing the job. They're giving you medication because you're in a situation where you need medication. So they give you the medication. But what are you doing to come out of that situation? You put yourself there. People just get sick and want to blame everybody else. No, you need to blame yourself. Blame yourself. Because I always tell people, I come from a family that have diabetics, that have hypertensive people, that have overweight people, but a lot of them licorice and greedy and just interfere with things that they have no right to interfere with. You want to drink a soft drink every day and 3 times a day, you don't expect to get diabetes. You have no sense. You're not exercising. You're eating ham, lamb, jam. You want to eat all the meat. And then when you get sick now, you have problems. Come on, man. Okay, let me answer some questions here. All right. So, Miss Keisha Pahote, let me see what she asked. She says, Doc, my 11, just now. Come, there we go. Give me questions here, boy. All right. Good night, Doc. My 11-year-old son has belly pains and nausea almost every morning. When he wakes, he is also getting boils under his arm, under his skin. What may be cause and what can I get from your clinic? Keisha, does he need a cleanse? That's liver, intestines, lymphatic system. The first thing you need to do for him, Keisha, is the water. Get some of the alkagen water and let him start to drink water. If he's 11 years, what are you going to have to do? Provide me his weight. So he needs to drink his body weight divided by 2 ounces in water. That's the first thing you're doing. Let him do that for 2 weeks. Now, the thing is, school opening just now, we're in the 18th. Even if he does that for like about 10 days, and then what you can do is get for him the Santulan, and you can also get the inflammation formula for him. And that is going to give you some assistance there for him. All right? But that's definitely gastrointestinal, liver. People who get boils are a way of your body removing toxins from the body. It is one of the most last resort emergency methods that the body uses to get toxins out of it. Your integumentary system, or the system that consists of your skin and its appendages, which will be things like your fingernails, your hair, that type of thing, that's the largest organ of detoxification of the body. So people who get things like boils, like lipomas, moles, all those are indication of buildup of toxins in the body. Okay. Next question, Miss June Jatton. She said, yes, doc, you don't put water in your mouth. Of course. Lee Joseph, yes, doc, I did see improvement. My first consult, I had low blood count, circulation issues, and fibroids. My blood pressure normalized, and now hopefully my circulation will improve once the enzyme formula breaks down the fibroids. Okay, good. I'm so glad to hear that. All right, Alicia Spears, the boss man himself, Dr. Batson. Yes, doc, you are speaking the truth. Thank you so very much. Miss Mary Elizabeth, she says, good evening, Dr. Batson Associates. We are always pleasantly informed by your associates when they appear with you or solo. We appreciate you all. Keep staying blessed and keep blessing us. Thank you. You're very welcome, my dear. Very, very welcome. Thank you so very much for that. Lee Joseph says, how much is the enzyme formula, and is it available at Chaguanas or St. James branch? About the Santulan, could the detox cause women of childbearing age temporarily bleed while using it? Could the detox cause a woman of childbearing age temporarily bleed while using it? Okay, good. The enzyme formula is, you can always call the office to get the price. I can't remember off the top of my head how much is it. I know we have in stock, but I know it is low. We're actually expecting some more products in a bit, because that's a product that a lot of persons actually get some seriously good, great results with. So that's something that you could always call and get some information on. As regards to the Santulan, yes, Santulan can cause anyone to bleed, actually. In fact, you can drink Santulan and actually see blood when you're stooling, or a woman could actually get a next period while she's using Santulan. And I'll tell you the reason for that. Remember, because there are a lot of people out there whose body is out of balance. You know what I mean? Out of balance. So the thing is, when you're out of balance, there are certain things in integrative medicine, clinical nutritional medicine, medical nutritional medicine, automolecular medicine, and all those type of medicines that actually deal with nutrition and holistic, dealing with the body as a whole, as opposed to parts and that type of thing, treating the root cause and not necessarily treating symptomology, will always give you, in some cases, healing crisis. So that was healing crisis. And healing crisis is when toxins try to leave the body faster than you want it to leave. Now, it's almost similarly as boils. Boils are an indication that the body has too much toxins in it, and the body has reached a state where it is now in emergency, and the body has no other choice but to push these toxins somewhere and to get it out of the system. Okay, guys? Nice. Miss Keisha says, thank you, Doc. I will get the Santulan for both him and I this week. Thank you. And remember the alkagen water, he has to drink water. Very, very important. Okay? Because if he does not drink sufficient water, stuff is going to come out on his skin. All right? Sunshine Ray says, good night. When a person does a Santulan cleanse, how long before they do another? Good question, Sunshine Ray. I would say it depends on what you do, Sunshine Ray. So let's say you are the normal, and there's not to be condescending or facetious in any way, the normal mundane. When I say mundane in the sense that, you know, everything basically okay with you. You go to work, let's say you work at 8 to 4, you eat pretty okay, you take care of yourself, you don't work in oil and gas, you don't interact with chemicals, those type of things, then in a case like that, what you will find is that you could do a cleanse like every 3 or 4 months. If or maybe 6 months. If so, however, you're a person who eat a lot of meat, so you like meat, especially the one with the snout, pigs, you like a sort of red meat, so maybe beef, you're somebody who you live a sedentary lifestyle, you don't really exercise, you might be someone who smokes, you drink alcohol. I always tell people smokers are supposed to take more cleanse than anybody else. You're smoking on a daily basis. Okay, smoking is an addiction, it's hard to stop. Oh God, but take something and clean out yourself now, man. Come on, man. You have to be proactive as opposed to being reactive. Okay, so I hope I answered your question there, Sunshine Ray. Ms. Pahote says, I have lots of moles on my face and neck. Didn't know it was bad. Most of my family have them. Yeah, moles is not people say, hey, I come from a family and we have a lot of moles. No, moles are an indication of liver congestion. It is also an indication of 7-channel build-up: kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So those are some things that you need to pay very, very close attention to, guys. Good. Next question. So we have a question here. Someone is asking about Nerve Restore. If we have Nerve Restore in stock. Yes, we do. We do have Nerve Restore. Nerve Restore is actually a very, very, very good product that we carry. Those of you who have problems with a little depression, if you have problems sleeping, Batson Associates have one of the best sleeping protocol. I guarantee there isn't a person. If it is you came and you figure you didn't get enough results with sleep, then you need to come back, because each person has had different ways in terms of actually dealing with that. And a lot of the times, you see, you have to understand, there's a saying, go Paul luck is not see Paul luck. What does that mean? It means that even though we are all the same, essentially we are different. So as a result of that, it therefore means that what may work for a week for your friend might take a month to work on you, because your internal is different. Your history is different. You might have done a hysterectomy. So because you did a hysterectomy, your circulation is worse than your friend's circulation. So not because your friend used circulation tea and she get results in a month, mean you will use it and get results in a month. You did a surgery that has now left your body in a state of disrepair as regards to your circulation. Yeah. So it means, therefore, that your circulation and paying attention to those things, you need to look at it from a different perspective and follow the protocol, because our consultants are well trained enough to give you a protocol that suits you and you specifically. Good? Okay, Miss Ayana Marie says, good night, Dr. Batson. What products are recommended for women with cysts and fibroid, also a cyst that ruptured? Also, until she gets the product, what can she use naturally in the meantime? Okay, if you have a problem with cysts and fibroids as a female, you need to look at your water intake. That's the first thing. So that person needs to consume and increase the amount of water that they're drinking. Remove unnecessary, useless sugars from your diet. So soft drinks, those type of, remove them. If you drink coffee, lessen down that. You want to reduce the inflammation in the body. The products that you can use, we have Women's Formula. We have Santulan is also one. We have the Alkagen water. We also have Uterus Formula, which is the uterine cleanse. Those are products that could help in that situation. In the meantime, what could you use in the meantime, boy? Castor oil is actually very good. Not to ingest though, but to actually use on the navel, on that whole abdominal area there, your lower back. They can actually rub the castor oil there and actually wrap themselves with that glad wrap and, sleep with it. And that's going to actually help in terms of dealing with stuff with the lymphatics. But they definitely have to look at their water intake, and then of course they can always call and get information as regards to the other products. So from a natural perspective, that's one of the things that I would definitely recommend. I suggest no cold water either, take cold water completely out of your diet. If they eat ice, take it out of the diet as well, because what it means is that you need to actually pay attention to that and get the necessary balance, or bring back the balance. That's why the woman's formula is so important. Excuse me. Because what the woman's formula actually does is improve the endocrine system. Remember, the endocrine system is the system that actually deals with the glands, deals with your hormones. So in dealing with that, you actually have the ability to do certain things from that particular perspective. Okay, guys? Ms. Trisha Pascal asked the question. She says, Dr. Jason, can you explain what K2 is used for? Also, so you must use D3 with it. Okay, good question. K2 is actually a vitamin that assists in regulating calcium in the body. Regulating calcium in the sense that what happens is that K2 actually goes and take calcium, unnecessary calcium, that is maybe in the bloodstream, and actually ensures that it's escorted to the bones. Remember, calcium is stored where? In your bones, right? Your bones are comprised of calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus in the form of calcium phosphates, if memory serves me correct. Yeah. So it means that your bones are the warehouses for calcium. Now, the thyroid is the gland that is responsible for transmitting or allowing your brain to understand that it needs to move calcium from your bones into your blood. So an individual who has an endocrine problem, so for example, someone who has hyperthyroidism, they're going to end up in a situation where you have that calcium that is actually coming there. So that is what K2 does. K2 actually balances the blood calcium levels, and it also helps with that plaque, like plaque buildup in the arteries, where it will actually take that out of the blood vessels. Okay, D3, it should be used with D3 or used in a diet where D3 is available from the perspective of food or nutrition, whether it is in the form of a supplement or a whole food. I'm a big fan of whole foods, simply because and nutrient dense foods, because they have the ability to do just that. So that's actually what K2 is for. K2 is also very good for persons who have problems associated with circulatory problems and that type of thing. Of course, Dr. Batson will always be brand specific. And of course, very soon, God's willing, we're going to fix that whole brand issue. We're going to fix that issue. Take what I'm telling you. After Almighty God, we definitely going to fix that issue. Okay. Okay. Mr. Hayden Stewart says, what water do you recommend for me to use when doing the Santulan? Got the Santulan from you two times, or I think 2 weeks ago, but I couldn't bring the Alkagen water with me. What water do you recommend I use here? Okay, good. I remember, Mr. Stewart. I hope all is well with you, sir. What I would say you could do, you could actually get the alkaline water if that is available. If you don't have that available, you could actually get the alkaline drops, right? Those alkaline drops that are available, and that could actually help in putting that in the water that you actually use. Okay. Miss Ayana Marie says, thank you. You're very welcome, my dear. Miss Michelle Dunn, is the Lynx machine at Chagona's branch working? Yes, it is. That machine is working a little while now. There was once or twice we had, because the problem we actually had was the internet service with that, but the machine is up and running. So you can always verify again with the office when you are coming to collect what you need to collect. Okay, Ms. Michelle, I do apologize for the inconvenience, but of course, that's when you're dealing with technology. Okay, so you're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson Associates, where we support your health naturally. Our regular scheduled Sunday night program or Sunday evening, where we're discussing health from a natural and integrated perspective. Yours truly, Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson Associates. So keep in mind those specials that we have. Our symposium in Chagonas, we actually, I believe, you know, because of the school time and the holidays and those type of things, that a lot of individuals actually we know this time people focusing on getting those children out and that type of thing. So definitely we are going to be doing some promotions for you guys. That Londonville office, of course, opening, God's willing, this week. And we'll have some additional information for you with that Londonville office, as well as the promotion with our Chaguanas office. So take advantage of those promotions. We actually have our consultations and food detox that we're actually having at our Chaguanas branch as well. So a lot of promotions coming. Keep in mind that regeneration circulation tea, we actually have that tea which was actually $225 is actually now $200. So we actually have a discount on that. Sorry, I don't normally call prices. But so we have a discount on that tea. That is actually this circulation regeneration tea that we have here. Very good product as it relates to assisting with things like fibroids, not fibroids, sorry, high blood pressure, poor circulation. Those of you who may have things like pins and needles, cramping your calves, burning on their feet. Those of you who also may have issues associated with sleep. That is also a very good product to use for that. We have the women's formula. The women's formula is now that women's formula as it relates to assisting women who actually have serious issues with fibroids, polycystic ovaries, hormonal imbalance, women who have issues associated with nervousness, PMS, this postmenopausal syndrome situation. Ladies, I don't know what language to talk to you in again. You have people consistently having problems with neurological problems, issues associated with lack of sleep. You can imagine the manner a human being you would be if it is you don't sleep properly. You'll understand what sleep deprivation is. I don't think people understand what sleep deprivation is. They really don't. Sleep deprivation is going to cause you or put you in a lot of problems. Michelle Dunn, yes, it does deal with spider veins. Lee Joseph says, thank you, Doc. We'll check the prices. Oh, I forgot. I am also using K2 with D3. Excellent. Okay. Miss Barbara Chris says, good night, Dr. Batson. What could I use for cramps in my hands and legs? How much water are you drinking, Miss Chris? Are you drinking your specific amount of water? You know the rule for drinking water, right? Once you are not a kidney patient or you have some sort of nephrology issue, then you should be drinking your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. So I suggest if you are having cramps, it could possibly be an issue with circulation. I don't know when it was the last time you did a detox. You can actually try the Santulan. I do suggest that you do not try the Santulan until you are drinking your body weight or half your body weight divided by 2 in ounces, at least for 1 week or 10 days, and then you can start to use the Santulan. Okay, you could also, I don't know how your circulation is. I don't know if you suffer from high blood pressure, but definitely the circulation regeneration tea is something that you should take a look at. Okay, Miss Elizabeth Martin says, what is good for testosterone? Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so testosterone is a vital hormone that men are supposed to have. Now, men, as we get older, you find our testosterone levels tend to go lower. What increases testosterone naturally? Exercise. So I don't know if the male is one that is inclined to exercise or somebody who looks at exercise, but definitely exercise does increase your testosterone, especially exercise where you work the lower quadrant of the body, or what is known as systemic circulation, which is circulation below the heart. So that's like leg workout. So things like squats, lunges, those type of things going to help you in that regard. Good. Trisha Pascal asked the question, Dr. Jason, I think I'm eating too much. That is why I do not eat on time. My cheat hurt. 7 in the morning, I have, and then 10, I become hungry. Then I have lunch at 12, and at 5, I have to eat again. And when I'm home, about 7, I eat this, I will get notified by my chest hurting. What can I do? Miss Pascal, you give me a kind of shorthand kind of thing there. Okay, I trying to understand the whole thing as regards to what you're asking me. So you say you think you're eating too much. You said you usually eat 7 o'clock in the morning, and then by 10 you're hungry. Then you have lunch at 12, and then at 5 you have to eat something. Yeah, but the thing is, if you eat 7 o'clock, 3 hours would pass. That's, yeah, you would feel hungry. I don't know if you work out, I don't know if you exercise, if you go to the gym, but let's be. Or breakfast. So you have breakfast at 7, and then you find you're hungry at 10. So you find you shouldn't be hungry at 10. Well, yeah, you're supposed to be hungry. You see, people have to understand. Remember, food is what? Food is fuel. So people have to understand. People just say, I eat too much. I always hungry. But if you're always hungry and you're obese, or you're belly big, or you find you're fat, or you're overweight or something like that, I'm just trying to put it in perspective for people here. Then it means that you need to check yourself. But the thing is, if you're not in a situation like that, like me, for example, I eat, and I have to eat because I have a high metabolism. And the reason for that is because I'm always using upstairs here. So I do a lot of mental work. Then I would do gym, I would do my cardio and that type of thing. So that's fuel. So once it is you're doing that, your body's going to call for fuel. What you need to do now is eat the right type of fuel. So nothing is wrong with eating, you know. People just complain about you're eating. You don't have anything to worry about if you're eating the correct thing, and if your body composition as regards to your fat composition, your muscle composition, and those type of things are as they're supposed to. And she said, okay, I am thin. Right. So it means you have a fast metabolism. What type of work do you do? Are you an accountant? People who deal in accounts, once you're using plenty of this, you're always going to be eating. You want to feel for snack, you want to feel for sweet things. So try and make it sensible. You could do a little, you know, like maybe what they call these things, boy, where you have the things like your oats and your raisins and all these type of things and those type of things. You said you get notified by your chest hurting. That I don't understand though. So is it that when you're hungry, you're trying to tell me that your chest is starting to hurt you? That's what you're saying? Clarify for me now, please. Right. Miss Dr. Batson, do you have to make an appointment to attend the Health Awareness Weekend at your Londonville branch? We actually going to be doing some, you don't necessarily have to make an appointment, because what we're actually going to be doing, we're going to be doing that like a kind of presentation kind of situation thing for persons outside, that kind of thing. I actually have to talk to my staff, well, my colleagues rather, this week here to sort of finalize that, Miss Samaru. But we definitely will keep you up to date as regards to that. Okay. Michelle Dunn says, what did you say about the water intake? Your body weight divided by 2 in ounces? Yes. So let's say you weigh 160 pounds, half of 160 is 80. You should be drinking minimally 80 ounces of water for the day. If you're not accustomed drinking water like that, what I suggest you do not go and start to drink that one time. Sort of gradually get yourself up there. So you do your body weight divided by 2 in ounces, and then maybe half of that you could start, and then you do that for maybe a week, and then you start to gradually go yourself. Because what a lot of people do, they don't drink water, and then they just have to be, no, can't do that. Start chugging water like a crazy person. Okay, you can't do that. Nice. No name Noel. Good evening to you. Miss Kelsha says, do you recommend collagen peptide supplements for women? Yes, I am a big advocate of collagen. Huge. In fact, I use it. There's a particular, but of course, you all know me, I'm brand specific because of the years of it. And I say this with no apology. Yeah. And that's a situation we're going to fix in due time, because based on my year, I have done, you know, the people say you pay your dues. I've paid my dues. So the dues that I would have paid is the dues as regards to the knowledge and my scope of knowledge as regards to supplements. There are few people in the world could do what I do. And I say that as humbly as you could get it. I say it as humbly as you could take it. Because people, no matter what you do, there are some people who ain't gonna like you. Such is life. But I am one of the few that are as good as this work that I do here. Take what I'm telling you. I know supplements inside out. I know nutrition inside out. And I can help people. The thing is, a lot of people have to understand that in order to get that help, there is a financial consequence associated to it. And I'm not even talking about my consultation and that type of thing. There are people who do not understand the value of nutrition. Let me tell you something. Why is it that people, you all know what are blue zones, right? Blue zones are countries or places in the world where people live to be more than 100 years. You all know one of the blue zones in the world is Japan, right? Good. You have Japan. Scandinavia is also one. So places like Sweden, the Netherlands, those type of things. You look at what those people eat. Not necessarily so much now. There are a lot of them who stick to the proper way of what they eat and what they do and that type of thing. But look at what they eat. You'll realize what Chinese or Asian people eat generally. Now, it has some people might like what they eat because they eat little bugs and those type of things. I tell people, and once it is they eating it, and I deal with them, I eating it too. Because these people do not look bad. Their skin has a particular way it looks. Their hair has a particular way it looks. You think I get all this here on my head, Jesse? This I have locks 4 years now. 4 years now. And if I was doing it the way that I was supposed to do it, because it could have been longer than this. And I am in my 40s. It are people who in the 20s and all the hair fall off already. Men I'm talking about. And let me tell you something, that has nothing to do with your parents. People like to blame things on the parents. You don't take care of yourself. You don't eat good. You don't sleep good. You expect all your hair to fall off your head. It is going to fall off. You expect your skin to look nice. You expect to have nice teeth. You expect your skin, your fingernails. What is this? I cut my fingernail last week. What is it already? Look. Last week I cut my fingernails. And I'm saying all of that to say, to try to help people to understand that this magnificent body that Almighty God created and gave you has a rule and a rule book attached to it that people don't like to follow. And when you do, wait till you don't even smell, you don't even smell good. Okay, Alicia Spears, that don't even smell good. What? Okay, yeah, or making reference, right? You have to, so you have to take care of yourself. And those people who live that long, there are things that they do. Now, of course, in terms of mental relaxation and how they would do certain things and that, that's one thing. No, and then people talk about my beard, that my beard gray. I glad my beard gray. Me, sorry. You sure this looking? I know upset. So I'm saying all of that to say, take care of yourself. You see, Pahote Kelsha talking about collagen peptide. Excellent. Some people might find that too expensive, but it's your skin. Ladies, women love nice skin, and men love women to have nice skin. Women want to have nice, healthy hair. And you all want that? So if you want that, you need, your body heals from where? Outside in or inside out? Where does your body heal? Your body heals from inside outside. So you could never have good hair. You could never have nice skin. You could never have good teeth. You could never have, everybody want to be nice. Everybody want to look good. It's inside out. And it starts with water. Don't tell me you don't like water. Well, if you don't like water, make up your mind to be sick and dead and stop wasting people's time. That's why I retreat people with that nonsense. You are what you eat. And medication is not food. That, of course, is a topic for a different discussion. You don't get diabetes just so. You don't get hypertension just so. You don't get cancer just so. Bring anybody with cancer for me. I always tell them that. And let us do a blood analysis on you. It's the nastiest set of blood you ever seen in your life. It stink. Plain talk, bad manners. Nasty. And the reason it is like that is because unhealthy blood will give you an unhealthy body. You cannot change that. That is a law. There's a law of gravity. They say all bodies falling towards the earth fall at a constant acceleration known as acceleration due to gravity. If you jump off a building, you are going to hit the ground. And if you have a parachute, that is something completely different because a human being cannot fly. There is a law. Just like the body has a law of hydration. The body has a law of balance. The body has a law of equilibrium. And if it is you flout that law, you will not be healthy. I don't care who your doctor is. I don't care what you have. And that's the problem with a lot of people. They like to eat foolishness, do stupidness, get sick, and then go to the doctor. And then the doctor say, okay, you have high blood pressure. Come, let me give you some high blood pressure medication. And that's fine. That's fine. That's acceptable. That is standard. Because at that particular point in time, you need to get the medication because you are at an emergency. So when your blood pressure is 200 and something over 1 something, you have no other choice but to shut up and take the medication that the doctor gives you. But outside of that, when you start to take better care of yourself, you start to drink water, you start to exercise, you start to walk, you start to do certain things, then you realize that the blood pressure is going to start to read better. Not so? So let Batson Associates help those who want to help themselves. I always tell people that. So again, those telephone numbers and locations, we are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. That telephone number, of course, is 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. Again, that's 314-9975. Those locations, we are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. That telephone number for Chaguanas, again, is there. We have Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That number for Red Edge Mall. You can also call and get that. We have Tobago, which is the Triangle building in Scarborough, Tobago. And, of course, we have Debe, which is the corner of Ramsey Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. There are some questions. Let me just run through quickly here. Okay. What are the benefits of collagen and the brand to purchase? Ms. Pahote, I will answer that question in privacy for you. All right. Message my office, 314-9975. That's the WhatsApp, 314-9975, and I'll send that information for you. I wouldn't give you that information on this. It wouldn't be wise for me to do that, right? Regina Morris says they eat a lot of veggies and they just half steam it and lots of hot tea. Correct. Correct. Only to buy a little Batson Associates that sell so much tea because I just feel to bring tea for you. You don't even smell good. That I was trying to figure out. Or as regards to, as I say, you want to clarify that from Alicia Spears. Darrell Perkins, he says, good night, doc. If you have low blood count, is it possible to use Santulan? She drinks a lot of water. How you said to drink it? No. So, Perkinson, no. If they have low blood count, they cannot use Santulan first. That person we have to get that blood count up properly, and we have to advise that patient accordingly. That's very, very important. Okay? I hope you're still there and you heard what I said. Trisha Pascal says, one of your consultants made me use enzymes, so I am wondering if I would need it again. No, the enzymes that you use, was it digestive enzymes? Was it digestive balance or digestive restore? Or was it the enzyme formula? Because they are enzymes, but there are different types of enzymes, that have different purposes. Okay? Yes, nice healthy skin. Thank you very much. Yeah, inside out. Marva De Freitas, Dr. Batson, you are so intelligent. May God bless you always. Thank you so very much. Miss Marva, sorry. Thank you so much for that. not only women with a man, not only women with a man want good skin and health. I love my body and take good care of it. You're sure right? Yeah. Is there a collagen that doesn't smell like bad, doctor? Sorry, it have a collagen. You find that they smell bad. Yes, there's one that doesn't smell bad. I could always put it. It's something that I actually used to bring, and I'm going to start back bringing it. It's a little more on the pricier side, but it is one of the best collagens that they have. It's really good. Cold pressed olive oil is a boss for healthy skin and hair. That's why those Italians live long life. Also, olive oil, but be careful. There are lots of fake ones and mixed with other oils. You're sure right. Very much so. I appreciate that comment, Miss Regina. Buy the unflavored one. Some makes you nauseous. Right. Which brand? Doc, I can do better. Can't wait to see you. No problem. You're very welcome, my dear. So make sure and message the office with that, right? Doc, by the way, you have a great staff. I appreciate their professionalism. Thank you so very much, sir. Alicia Spears says, as regards to what you were saying about people not taking care of themselves. Oh, okay, good. I follow you. Thank you so much, Alicia. Thank you. I heard you. Ms. Barbara Chris. Repeat the phone number, please. The telephone number again is 314. That's 314-9975. It's actually running underneath the program here. It's 314-9975. That's the WhatsApp. And the office number to call for any of the locations they can direct you is 222-8261. Again, that is 222-8261. Okay, Miss Mary Elizabeth, Dr. Batson, just from listening to you over the years speaking about Santulan, I had to make my system ready for it. I hydrated my body for a month or two prior. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Miss Anne-Marie says, next question, Dr. B. What can a female use to lower all testosterone levels? The woman's formula. The woman's formula, because the woman's formula is going to balance the endocrine systems. Women who have excess testosterone, who would end up with things like facial hair and that type of thing, that is women with really bad hormonal imbalance. So you have too much testosterone, not sufficient estrogen and things like prolactin and those type of things. So that's where the woman's formula comes in, because what the woman's formula does, it actually balances the endocrine system. What is your endocrine system? So your endocrine system is your glands. So your glands would include your thyroid, your parathyroid, your pituitary, and your adrenals. You have one or two others. Those are responsible for the production of hormones. What are hormones? Hormones are chemical messengers that the body uses to now give it instruction. So testosterone, for example, high levels of testosterone, deep voice, facial hair, genitals, or the androgens and those type of things. So men have more of those, right? Women have testosterone, but they have lower, or the testosterone levels should be lower. Now, there are some women who are born with higher levels of testosterone. I don't know if you all ever heard about this athlete. What was her name, boy? I think it was Simenaire. She was from one of those, I think some one of those African countries or something. Casta Simenaire was her name. She was actually a runner or something like that. And she had a serious issue where she went before I think the Olympic governing body or some sport governing body, where they wanted her not to perform because of her excess. So the excess testosterone levels that she had basically gave her more physical, yes, from South Africa, yes. So because of that, her physical attributes she was at a greater advantage to the other women because of the higher levels of testosterone she had, because she would have had higher endurance levels. Her muscles would have been stronger than an average woman. So it would, of course, given her an advantage. Whether or not the advantage was unfair or not, in my personal opinion, that doesn't matter, but it went before a tribunal and that type of thing. I didn't go into the story too much, or I haven't followed it. I could always do some research, or you yourself could research it. So that is one of the reasons. So to naturally bring testosterone levels down in women, you would have to look at your woman's formula. We would have to look at that endocrine system. We're going to have to look at your gastrointestinal system and make some changes there to actually reduce that for you. Okay, keep in mind those health symposiums that we're going to have coming up. The one that we were supposed to have in Chaguanas, we actually had to reschedule that because, you know, we are a lot of persons who wanted to come, but when we really looked at it in practicality, it really didn't make any sense having it because of how close it was to the August vacation and what parents would have to do to get their children out to school and whatnot. Okay, guys? Miss Elizabeth Martin says, she says, you look, what she said? You look different from the time I saw you in person. Okay, well, I don't know. I hope that is a good thing. Dr. Batson always has his ups and downs. I try to have more ups than downs, especially where my health is concerned. You know, in being able to take care of myself and go to the gym. I love the gym. I don't get to go to the gym as much as I would like to, but I am actually putting things in place where I'm at because I believe in taking care of yourself. If I don't take care of myself mentally, psychologically, spiritually, all Ollie, I can be of no use to anybody. My family, especially, and my extended family, which is you guys. Okay. Ms. Baraki said, I have a problem with facial hair, doc. I wax every month. Okay. Ms. Chris, we'll fix that for you, man. We'll fix that. That is the endocrine system out of balance there. And yeah, she looks a lot like a male. Yeah, that's because of the testosterone levels. So it's just like women in bodybuilding. Women in bodybuilding, if you go and interfere with certain things, because naturally women not supposed to look like that, naturally. But if the testosterone levels, if you have a hormonal imbalance and the testosterone levels are higher, you're going to be in problems. Here's the way, said Dr. Batson. What do you think about spirulina and chlorella, and do you sell it? I'm a big advocate of them. I believe in them a lot. Yes, we usually do have in stock. I know what we're doing now, because we're actually doing a lot of changes with the companies that we were working with because of COVID. COVID did a number on the world. I mean, in case you all can't remember. So a lot of persons have to still put things in place, fix things, that type of things. But yes, I'm a huge advocate of spirulina and chlorella. Huge. Alicia Spear says, Doc, how long should you use women's formula? Should it be used as part of your regular vitamin regime? Yes, it should be. It should be used until we're able to get you to a place where your hormones are balanced. And then after that, it's just a matter of doing maintenance, preventative maintenance. Hi, Dr. Batson. Your view on diverticulitis, bloating, and acid reflux. He looks better. Thank you very much, Ms. Pahote. Yeah, view on diverticulitis. Diverticulitis is an inflammatory bowel disease. If you come to us, we can fix that for you. What I can say to you about diverticulitis, or even Crohn's disease or irritable bowel syndrome, or any of those diseases, I have successfully, or we have rather successfully, helped numerous patients with that, including a very close family member of mine, who was diagnosed actually with not only diverticulitis and irritable bowel syndrome, but they were telling them that they had colon cancer. And that person is somebody who is very close to my heart. So I made sure and worked very hard to ensure that they are alive, and they're still alive today, and that they do not have much of that issue, if any at all, right? People with inflammatory bowel diseases and inflammatory conditions need to be very careful of their protocols. So what Batson Associates is doing definitely very soon in the near future is we're going to be advertising ourselves more, or in addition, as a nutritional or dietitian service, where we actually can do diets and supplemental regimes, nutritional regimes for persons. So you may not necessarily, you may not necessarily be our patient, but you have been, you come to us for a consult at least, whether it is an online consult, whatever the case may be. We get all your blood work, we do what we need to do, and then we put together a program for you as regards to your issues that you are having. And believe me, you are going to see improvement. And that is in all aspects, whether it is cardiovascular, whether it's gastrointestinal, whether it's respiratory, whether it's endocrine, whether it's sexual reproductive, whether it's integumentary, whatever it is. That is where you're going to have to work, or we're going to have to work on that for you. Okay, guys. Elizabeth Martin, what is good for ED, erectile dysfunction? Let me tell you, men and ladies who are interested in the men that you have, because of course you need to have us functioning well. So a happy wife equals happy life, right? Men have to understand when it comes to getting and maintaining a good erection, taking care of yourself is very important. Now, if you're somebody who a bit delinquent, you know, you might drink a little more than the usual person. Because I'll tell you something, you know, as we come in down to the close of our program, a lot of people do not understand how to take care of themselves. And a lot of people do not understand why. It's just like water. You know, remember how I speak and I behave as regards to water and tell you why water is so important. So a man who drinks sufficient amounts of water is already in an advantageous situation as regards to his erection. A man who exercises, especially Kegel exercises. You all know what a Kegel exercise is? Ladies, you all know what that is, right? So you have Kegel exercises for women and you have Kegel exercises for men. So let's say you're doing those exercises. That is going to help to increase blood flow. So a man who exercises is supposed to, by nature, have a better erection than a man who does not exercise, or it gives him a greater advantage. Now, supplementation or nutrition is very important. Let me say nutrition and not supplementation, because nutrition is the whole. Supplementation is what we're going to get from that. So yes, pelvic floor exercises, as Mr. Stewart so rightfully said. So you have to understand that that pelvic floor is very important to do those exercises. So you have a number of exercises. After God is Google, after Google is YouTube. Go on YouTube and you could look at exercises. They have a lot there where they show you, men, you can do exercise to improve your erection. Ladies, you can do exercises to improve blood circulation to your womb and improve blood circulation to any part of the body. Healthy blood, that is going to improve your overall situation. So that is something that you need to pay close attention to. Abilene Hughes Bernard says, hi doc, what about DIM Plus for women? Good product. DIM, that acronym there is which is a long word, right? But I know what it is. That is actually very good as well. As regards to the products that we carry, star products, Nerve Restore, you will always benefit from a Nerve Restore product. You will always benefit from Santulan. You will always get benefit from Alkagen water. You'll get benefit from Women's Formula, from prostate support, the blood sugar complex, magnesium 90, advanced chlorophyll. There are a number of things that we have there that are going to help you and give you so much assistance in being healthy and, of course, taking care of yourself, guys. Very, very important. So, again, you are listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson Associates, where we support your health naturally. Keep in mind our upcoming opening for our Londonville office. There are some things that we're dealing with there, but nevertheless, we're going to open. You know, we're going to have those services available for persons in that particular area. And of course, a lot more coming as regards to our stroke and diabetes center, our respiratory center. Of course, we're going to have medical doctors working there with us as well. So it is an integrative clinic, which I am a huge, huge advocate of. I tell people I wish the whole world just go integrative and done and just stop being this politics and nonsense with who better than who and just trying to help people. Because we have people who need help. People falling down again, strokes left, right, and center. Healthy people don't get strokes. Healthy people do not get heart attacks. Healthy people do not have diabetes. Healthy people do not have high blood pressure. If you have those things, something is wrong with you. Take better care of yourself. A wise man once said, make your food thy medicine and thy medicine thy food. You all ever hear about that? That was Hippocrates, who is the father of modern medicine. which is just young. Modern medicine is young, and modern medicine is not even 200 years old. You all know that, right? When you look at Ayurvedic medicine, when you look at holistic Chinese medicine, when you look at naturopathic medicine, holistic medicine, this is where you're starting to take things into consideration like energy, things like yoga, deep breathing. It's just a fancy name for it, you know. Do you know how good deep breathing is for your body? You all know that? If you get up early in the morning, you don't have to go down in yoga position and all them fanciness because you must be now starting. You just sit down on a chair. Could be a chair like this. And you just inhale. You go at your pace. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And do that for 5 minutes. And you do that every day for 1 week, in the morning and in the night. And tell me how you feel. Remember, it's one body you have. No. This is one. It's only one of this you have. No. One. One. You ain't going to get back this, you know. They don't sell parts for this, you know. If you lose your eye, you lose your eye, you know. If you lose your limbs, like people who have diabetes, when they cut off your toe, you don't get it back. When they cut off your foot, you cannot get it back. You'll get a prosthetic. A prosthetic is not your foot. Please, please do something today to give you a healthy tomorrow. Hey, I like that. I feel like one of my new taglines. Doing something today to make you or give you a healthier tomorrow. We're going to go and coin that or something. So, right, guys? Remember those telephone numbers. Remember those locations. Remember those products. Check out your Nerve Restore. Check out your Circulation Regeneration tea. This tea is actually one of the best teas that we have. And we have a whole lot more coming for you guys. A whole lot more. After God. Okay? Keep in mind those locations and our open clinic days to our very hardworking staff and well, I don't refer to them as staff. I refer to them as my colleagues. Our consultants, Ms. Karishma Bramdan, Mr. Rene Bustamante, Mr. Green, Mr. Vialva, and all the other hard-working individuals at Batson Associates, where we continue to try our best to ensure to make you guys healthier. Let me see. Miss Erla Williams says, thoughts on magnesium citrate. It's good. It's good. You just have to know how to use it. When I have more time, maybe next program, I can actually discuss that. The magnesium, this is a product that we carry at us, Batson Associates, which is a liquid magnesium. It really helps significantly in dealing with a number of things in the body and that type of thing. Really good product. Miss Rosemary Bishop says, thank you so much for the good information. May God bless and keep you safe. Thank you very much, my dear. Miss Maureen Tull, I do that every day. I'm assuming the breathing, right? Regina Murray, yes, Dr. Batson, my therapist started me on deep breathing for anxiety and for proper blood flow to the brain. Yep, helps a lot. Together with the circulation tea, you're cooking with gas. Miss Frida Chin Ali Young, good night, doctor. What's good for sinus? Okay, sinus. Let me just talk to Miss Ali Young here a minute. Okay, all sinus people. Okay, so your sinuses is located in here, right? Now, if it is you were to do a three-dimensional or a CT of this part of my body, my brain, you will see the sinuses and where they're located, right? When these sinuses get blocked, they always get blocked and they're going to remain blocked unless you do things to unblock them. One of the things that you need to do when you have sinuses, my dear, you have to look at your dairy intake. If you do use milk, animal milk, you need to stop it if you want that sinus nonsense to stop. That's one. Cheese, you need to lessen it. Increase your water intake. Do not use anything cold. So stop cold water. I mean, if you're having a little juice or you go out and you're having a little cold beverage, a beer, whatever the case may be, okay, fine. But we're talking about your general water intake here. And what you can do, there is a product that we carry called Do we have any more of that, boy? The enzyme formula is going to help for that. There's also a product that we use. We're going to be getting that back in stock, God's willing, I believe next month, please God. And that product is actually known as, it was a breed, OptiBreed. Really, really good product. That's a product I use a lot of people, a lot of asthmatics and those type of people. Really good for that. What you can also do, Ms. Chin Ali Young, is get some castor oil, but make sure it's the proper castor oil you're getting. And what you do with the castor oil, God's willing, before you go to sleep in the night, now, you know, castor oil is a little messy, so you're going to have to watch your linens and that type of thing. What you want to do is take it and you put it in the mole of your head. You take it and you rub it across your forehead here. You rub it on the side here, and you rub it in the back and under your neck. And do that every night. And what it is going to do is going to start to clean the sinus and drain the sinuses out. But remember, you cannot go 10 steps forward and then go 30 steps back. So you have to be careful with the diet as regards to what I just discussed there. There's a tea that we carry at Batson Associates too as well, called Long's Tea. I'm not too sure if we have any in stock right now, but we also have other tea known as Puer, and there's a next one that we have as well too. You could check that out, and that's going to help in that situation. Okay, good. We have someone listening. Hey, Paula Farina. Good night, Doc. Listening from Guyana. Okay. I want to say something about Guyana, but something good though. Believe me, it's something good. But it's a pleasure to have you, my dear. Look in Guyana, you have some specimen over there, you know. Anyway, Michelle Dunn says, can a 14-year-old use that sinus product? What is okay? It's a good thing I said that. You know what I don't remember? The silver with the mineral formula as well. And that's a liquid product that children could use, and it's a very good product in that particular way that you could use there. Right? I forgot to tell Miss Farida Chin Ali Young that the silver with mineral formula is something to check out as well. Okay, guys? Let me see something here. Miss Rosemary Bishop says, are you having the hormonal session tomorrow night? Yes, I am. So that hormonal balance, because that's something I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to go just change it. Sometime I'm going to bring a consultant. We're going to do maybe a question and answer. We're going to maybe do a recorded session for you guys. But it's something I really want to keep doing because of all the women who suffer from hormonal disruption as it relates to all that hormonal imbalance challenges and whatnot. Okay? Thanks for your information, Dr. Batson. That's Cathy Samuel. Always a pleasure. Jackie Johnson says, good night, Dr. Batson. I hope I get my product next week, calling from New Jersey. Yes, yes. You should get, I believe we have your stuff organized, and I know they would have contacted you. Yes. Ms. Chinaliong says, okay, got that. Thank you. You're very welcome. Yes, guys. So, as usual, it is always a pleasure. I enjoyed this program today. I normally enjoy all my programs, but I enjoyed this one tonight. I like the questions. I like when people, you all need to challenge me. Give me work to do, man. I come here to talk to you all. Give me questions so I can help you all and help the other persons on the live. Okay? So check out those products, your Nerve Restore. Also check out the Magnesium 90. Check out your women's formula, guys, prostate formula, and keep in mind, Nerve Restore as well is also an aphrodisiac and an adaptogen. So even with erectile dysfunction, Nerve Restore also helps with that as well. But keep in mind, it also helps women in general with sexual, reproductive, and function and that type of thing. Really, really good product. Okay, guys? So as usual, it's always a pleasure to be in your company. Keep in mind those dates. Keep in mind those locations. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. That telephone number, of course, is 222-8261. We also have our Debe office, which is located at the corner of Ramsonwood Street and the SS Erie Main Road in Debe. That telephone number, again, you can call 222-8261. We have St. James, which is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. We also have Tobago, which is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. And opening very soon, this week in fact, By the end of the week, we're going to have everything up and running. We're going to have some promotions there and whatnot, our Londonville office. Okay, guys, it's always a pleasure to be in your company. And remember, as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. God bless you guys. Take care of yourself. Be safe. And remember that program tomorrow. We'll be on tomorrow again from 8:30 with that hormonal disruption program, specifically talking about hormonal imbalance in women and, well, yeah, it's hormonal imbalance in women. So whether you're dealing with polycystic, so we're dealing with very young women to the very mature. Okay, guys, take care. God bless and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Paula, yeah, let me just answer this question quick. How could you get products in Guyana? You just message us on the 314-9975 number, and we will inform you how you're going to get the product to Guyana. We're actually starting, because I actually have a lot of clients in Guyana, actually, and we're actually working assiduously on that, Paula. So just contact us. That number again is 314. That is 314-9975, my dear. Ms. Barbara Chris, the program tomorrow on hormonal disruption for women is actually 8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. on Batson Associates. We're going to actually have that posted up for you there. They actually should have posted it already, but they're going to do it in the morning, please God, for me. Okay? Okay, guys, again, take care. And remember, do something. When you're going to sleep tonight, make sure, drink your water. Tomorrow, please God, drink your water and do your deep breathing. Take care, guys, and do enjoy the rest of your night. Bye-bye.